beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again, for showing up another day, another moment for us to consider what it means to be obsessed. Considering specifically how obsessed people are the ones that go the furthest, right? And that can be taken to the negative extreme, absolutely. But to use that ability to be obsessed for good, to be obsessed with love, if you will, and how that could potentially change our world. Thank you, friends, for being obsessed enough to be here. I appreciate you. Let's see where this space takes us, what the conversations lead to, shall we? Joy Vive, nice having you here, friend. Sending you love. Shan just watched a fox trot through my yard. Sending love to Isaac. Thank you. I've been missing him as well. Even Corey is here. Thank you for joining us too, dear friend. Okay, I'm sitting down again. Take a sip of coffee. Spill a few drops of coffee. Use my blue and white scarf to clean it. Trigger myself a little bit because I'm obsessed with cleanliness as well. Isaac, what are the odds? What are the odds? You just summoned Isaac. How about that, Shad? Yo, what's up? Sam is here too. It's nice having you. So this is a new shirt. Mom bought it for me yesterday. My my first response was thank you, Mom. I appreciate it. And my second response was please do not buy me more clothing. Please. I don't need any more clothing. And she's like, your clothing is starting to look like it's been worn. I'm like, yes, that's the point. I want to wear it until it can't be worn anymore. Please don't buy me more clothing. A part of me is even, weirdly enough, a little bit upset. A part of me is upset that I have more clothing. Kitty is stepping on the tripod. You know, of course, mom was only trying to give love, but it's this experience of what we think we need, right? What we think we need, and what are we obsessed with right now? A part of me, yes, a meow. A part of me is obsessed with. Don't pull on the. She's doing that thing where she sprawls out and hooks her nails into cushions and stuff. To become obsessed with a certain understanding of your life, right? And I definitely have gained a level of obsession when it comes to what I believe we're supposed to be doing, especially when it comes to the consumption, right? The need to consume ceaselessly. And I'm a consumer as well. I have consumed many things in my life. I just consumed some coffee, right? So I'm not trying to demonize the consumption of things, but I am, however, trying to, at least in my own life, show myself that I can go beyond I can be more than just a consumer, right? The obsession with love will help me transcend the limitation of just a consumer. And it comes with this added caveat of knowing that in a way I would want to, right? Need to, you could say as well, produce goods that can be consumed, right? That's a really good model for manifesting financial abundance into your life. So I think about again in the context of clothing that if I'm going to get myself more clothing, if I'm going to be selling clothing, sure I have like t-shirts with my flowers on available right now, but that's not the way ideally that I would like to do it. Hopefully, and I believe in the future, and I have shared this hope with a few friends, I'll be able to create my own brand with sustainable hemp farming. Maybe even one of you friends, Rambler could help us with stuff like that as well. But sustainable hemp farming and then using those fibers to make clothing, and then we can wear that clothing. Like hemp is 10 times more efficient when it comes to land usage for carbon capture land usage for fibers produced, land usage for water, how far the water goes, land usage per uh, toxins or like pesticides, in comparison to cotton, for example. It really is such a great plan. And most of the clothing I've been wearing are cotton based pieces of clothing. This, I believe, is cotton as well. And the part of me that's obsessed, doesn't want to buy more clothing, at least not for the next few years. Like I would, in a weird way, a part of my ego would be proud of myself if those shirts that I wear are literally so torn, so faded, so worn that people be like, "Hey, dude, you should get yourself new clothing." Like I'd be proud of that. I'd be like, "Yeah, I wore these clothing into destruction." So let's just write obsessed, at least on the inside. Obsessed, and then we'll add some energies. We'll add the energy of the rider, right? The one that moves. We'll add the energy of humanity. We'll add the energy of abundance. If we're gonna be obsessed with creating things as well, right? Another thing to be obsessed with creating things. Be obsessed with creating things, even if you're just going to create a good experience for yourself, right? Like the way you drink your coffee. You can drink your coffee distracted, or you can drink your coffee just taking in the aromas and watching a sunrise, for example. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying be obsessed with that ability to create an experience. Abundance. What more would we like? You know, radical change or catastrophe technically is this the core meaning of this one as well. The hail rune. And let's add the ending rune. I'm feeling less than obsessed. Not blessed and obsessed, less than obsessed. Right? I believe in the power of obsession. And I weirdly enough, it is my obsession that brought me back into this space right now, right? Like this has become in a very big way an obsession for me. I am obsessed with showing up for love. I will freaking show up, come hello, high water. But that part of me, the part of me that is capable of becoming obsessed with things, feels a little bit hurt right now. Hurt, limited, uh, stunted in its ability to really become obsessed, right? And it's a part of me. What do you think about the katlachter? A part of me feels that way because of like this guarded nature of hope, right? That we are so scared of becoming obsessed with something sometimes, lest we're wrong, right? What if I'm obsessed with the wrong thing? What if I'm obsessed with the wrong thing? What's that gonna do for me? And I know the things I'm supposed to be obsessed by, right? I really do, and I'm trying to. But unfortunately, I I am being influenced by my three-dimensional experience. Think maybe she'll join us today. Thank you, friends, for joining me. If you're here right now and your ears are open to these words, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Yeah, magic. Just magicked into your ears. You are now loved. Congratulations. Crystal! Nice having you here, friend. Looks so nice where you're at today. Thank you for joining me in this little fractal right up there. Always wonderful to share space with you all. Wonderful to have you. I hope she doesn't listen to Melty. I like your new shirts. I added some thieves oil to this. I added some Panaway to my foot that has been hurting Shan, and I added some Valor at the bottom of my little beard fluffs to be aerated every now and then. Thank you, JV, for sending love to Crystal. I need to ceaselessly consume air. I'm greedy. You greedy human, you. How dareth you ceaselessly consume air? So hungry, hungry hippo of you. Man, I'm tripping myself out. I really am. I'm tripping myself out because I've been having a hard time with my mental narrative that I've been telling myself. And it's a joke. It is a joke because I know it's just a story. And then I come into this space and then that story melts it melts in front of my face. I'm like, oh goodness. It got melted. What am I supposed to do now? I can't believe my story of limitation now that I'm here. All right. Because you friends know that we are only as limited as we believe we are. And I've been showing up. I've been doing the things that I must. All right. I'm starting to get obsessed with videos, video ideas, right? Like my mind is really running in that aspect. So obsessed with creation. Let's do that. Obsessed with creation. There you go. Obsessed and creation. Those serve me. Crystal. Being obsessed with love is interesting. So, Natalie, it's very interesting to me that you find that interesting, specifically based on the fact that I had this conversation with Christian where he we were talking about psychopaths, right? How there is such a thing as a psychopath on our planet, and he considers me a psychopath. He's like, "You're a psychopath, dude." But in the same way that psychopaths can be psychopathic towards other people, in a hateful, harmful, deceitful, murdering way, you can also do the exact opposite. And you can be psychopathic in the positive direction. You can be a psycho for love, right? Literally be insane in the medium of trying to love. And that obviously can lead to some questionable results. Be obsessed with love as long as it doesn't harm yourself or others, right? And if it's real love, it shouldn't be harming yourself or others. But yeah, a psycho for love. Thank you, Natalie, for being a psycho for love with me. All right. At least we're not psychos for murder or something. Good for us. Good job, human beings. You did the thing. You transcended your biology. Congratulations. Have a lollipop and a house. Oh, goodness. I honestly hope that more of us become obsessed with love as we go into this flippin' Looney Tunes future. Like we're gonna see some wacky stuff, right? Like just think about this. You in this state that you're in, me included in this conversation, are unable, completely incapable of even remotely fathoming what the year is going to look like what the world is going to look like in 10 years. All right? Like this, for the longest time, people could, with mild accuracy, predict what would come in the next 10 years, right? They'd expose themselves to papers, understanding of technology, the developments that's happening. There was only that many smart people trying to do things, right? Now, there are not only smart people doing things, but there are smart people doing things or things smarter than they are, right? We have AI systems coming online right now. We have AI systems available to the public that are basically sci-fi level. So don't even get started with thinking what the enterprise level of these technologies look like right now. So the point I'm trying to make is that we're moving into a world of increasing obsession, right? There's going to be a lot of obsession, and you can think of it as niching down. Like it's you make a niche for yourself, and then you show up for that niche. That is obsession. That is literally obsession. You learn to love something, and find whatever it is you're obsessed with. It doesn't have to be love. It can be an art career. It can be music. It can be right a certain project you love working on. It can be going outside and walking underneath the trees. You can be obsessed with that. You could. I promise you. Mark my words. Look at my face. Look if I'm joking. You could make a whole career just walking under trees, right? Think about that. If you wanted to, so you're like, this is me just pushing the absurdity of this reality we're a part of. If you wanted to, and you start today, you spend 30 minutes every day, filming trees, filming yourself walking under trees, filming yourself, filming yourself walking under trees, and talking about how cool it is to film trees and how much you love trees. And you start doing that today for 30 minutes a day, and you start posting, right? If you can fit, technically, you would be able to fit the whole process of you filming the tree you like, right? Maybe you decide that you're gonna find and love on every single tree in your block to start with. And then you document that process. Oh, I love trees. Look at this tree. Isn't that tree nice? Look at the shape of this one. Look at how this one grew away from the sidewalk. Na 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 na. You will, you will gain success in that niche if you show up for it. If you become obsessed with it, right? As a rudimentary example, you can become obsessed with anything, and if you show up for it, it will reward you because successful people are obsessed with things, right? And successful means different things to different people. It can mean financial abundance if that is what's important to you. But success to me, honestly, the biggest and the most beautiful example of success to me is the ability to continue doing what it is you want to be doing. To be able to, a successful artist is an artist who gets to keep creating their art, right? Sure, financial, incentives do play a role sometimes. But if an artist doesn't want to do their art anymore because of the financial implications, that isn't success to me. If an artist doesn't want to do their art anymore because they hate it, that doesn't feel like success to me, right? And art shifts. The medium in which we create shifts. We shift. You don't have to keep doing the same thing. You don't have to stay obsessed with the same thing, but gain this ability to be obsessed with things. Really garner this depth to enthrall yourself, to melt into, if you will, a topic, to embrace it. Sleepy, it's okay, Isaac. It's like loving having you here, dude, nonetheless, man. Corey Ba, there are a lot of people who are sucking up way more oxygen, doing way more useless things than you are. Thank you for that love. Sam, I just know Corey is a loving being, so I applaud every single oxygen molecule that absorbs into his body. Today marks 26 years that I have been without my mother's physical form. Choosing love instead of sorrow is what has helped me move on from this date. Hello, lovable friends. Celebrating your mom in this moment, Natalie. Thank you for joining us. I want to make a hemp/recycled paper mix. There you go. Yes. Yes, we can do that as well. Like I honestly believe that this space is going to be about showing up for love, right? It already is, but it's going to continue being that, where us as a community are going to start creating, garnering so much momentum as a society that this ability to show up every day for a moment for love, to have a conversation with a friend, to spend some time in nature, to breathe and to recognize that you are loved. If every single person on earth starts doing that, that is, without a shadow of a doubt, going to change things. And you friends are the change in that. Like you friends are the ones choosing to be here right now, right? You're obsessed enough. You're obsessed enough to be here, right? Both of us are, clearly. Obsessed with love, the most. We love you, Corey. What about hemp and plastic, Natalie? Pretty sure there's some kind of clothing made from recycled plastic. This is true. You can make clothing from recycled plastic, but unfortunately, when it goes through the washing process, it makes microplastics, which is less than ideal. I'm good, just tired. Same, Crystal. I feel all of us are tired. This year has been a lot. There we go, adding to the microplastics. Yeah, Natalie knows as well. Nobody takes a hobo seriously, is all I'm saying. Why not? Why not, Joy Vive? Why does nobody take the hobo seriously? Like, I'm seriously curious. And this was a conversation I had with my dad today, where he was basically, you know, I asked him about what he did at church, right? That it was church day today. What they were being taught, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, the church lesson went about personal identification, or what you think about yourself, who you think you are, and who you think you are in in Christ, right? Like you should have an identity in this larger figure." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." And then I basically continued steering the conversation towards personal autonomy and the ability to make real change in the world, to to acknowledge that sometimes we come into the space of discomfort, right, in our environment, in the things we go through, the things we experience, but it's not impossible for us to facilitate in our environment, in our fractal, the ability to not experience that discomfort. And that instead of believing that heaven is somewhere outside of us, somewhere ethereal, something that comes after, if we recognize that heaven is here right now, we can actually show up in love for the ones that we're spending the time here with, right? It takes away, or it gives you the ability to recognize this experience as the divine one instead of waiting for a divine experience. And he was like, "Oh, that worldview will never work," he says to me. I'm like, "Dad, I'll show you. It will work." Right? Like, this is the worldview I'm showing up for every single day. And he's like, show me how it works." I'm like, "Dad, I'll show you. I just need some time." And he's like, "What is time gonna help?" I'm like, "Dad, how long did it take you to amass the wealth, right? This farm, which he got for ridiculously cheap price, and we're not gonna go into that, like 11 years ago, during the financial crash. Uh, Beside the point. Like, how much time, I ask him, did you have to build the things you have right now, right? 30 plus years. And I'm like, if I spend 30 plus years showing up for this thing that we believe in, you friends show up with me, right? And even if it's just us, right? Like we have 12 friends in chat right now. Even if it's just us, 12 friends of you and me for the 13th, even if it's just us 13 people, we will change the world 10 times over, at least for ourselves and for our immediate family members, in 30 plus years. 30 plus years. And it just creates this narrative. And I'm like, and then my dad kind of steered the conversation towards, oh, it's not about how much finances or what you can build. And I'm like, okay, Dad, so what is it about? Right? What am I supposed to show you? What am I supposed to show you to give you this understanding I have about the way we're supposed to see ourselves and others? Right? And I kind of had that feeling, Joy V. If I had that feeling of my dad sees me as a hobo and then doesn't respect me as such, and then the part of me that feels I have to defend myself, wants to be wealthy, because that's the medium, that's the metric with which we measure your importance in this realm. It's a little bit messed up, Joy Vive. I'm having a hard time. I'm tripping out about this. So, with all of that baggage in mind, I'm going to smoke this joint with the intention of creation and obsession. Obsession with creation. I will be obsessed with creating things indefinitely. And you friends, fortunately, get to create with me. If you say something in this space, you get to create into the space. If you're here, completely silent in this space, you're creating the space by lending me your ear. So thank you, friend, for being a creator. I might Corey just picked up a dry herb vape yesterday. Good, good, dude. That and some capsules, gummies, and the like. I'm proud of you, dude. I'm holding onto a joint, and now I don't even want, I don't even want to light it. What have you did? A pulsar shift. I had my eyes on some nice ones, but they had this little guy at the shop that I like a lot, and banana cream strain, which in the vape almost actually tastes like banana cream, dude. Vaping proper strains, from a dry herb vaporizer is the way to smoke weed technically. Especially if you want to taste what you're smoking instead of just tasting burnt. I'm so happy for you, brother Bear. That sounds amazing. The tech is probably pretty good as well. You don't need a Mighty anymore to get a good vaping experience. I had a Pulsar vape for many years. Just had to replace it earlier this month. You made a good choice. There we go. Sam echoing. Oof, I think I've been obsessed so far. Without pleasuring the dopamine cycle. I think I've been obsessed without pleasuring the dopamine cycle. Had to smash my body in a workout yesterday to make up, but now I'm so dang sore. Good! I'm proud of you, dude. I've been exercising as well, but unfortunately, I've not been eating my macros, right? I'm not eating remotely enough protein these days. And it makes me feel like shit. And then feeling like shit makes me not want to do anything. And then not wanting to do anything makes me eat like shit, which makes me feel like shit, which makes me not want to do anything. Yeah. And I'm watching this loop. I'm like, oh, falling through the fractal. Oh, what's happening to me? Creating my own experiences. I'm aware and I can change. I can change. I'm going to continue being obsessed with creation though. The things I'm obsessed with creating might change, but I will not stop creating. Obsessed with creation. Obsessed with creation. Mm. It's kind of, excuse me, paradoxical in its own way, right? Because even though we can become obsessed with creation, technically, you are at the most fundamental level a creator. And there's a bunch of things we're saying in this little book of mine that goes into it in that context, that you are actively creating this experience. Even if you're creating an experience which you do not perceive to be worthy, right? You might plant a garden and then every single one of your plants die. And you can consider that a failure, or you can recognize it as a creation, the creation of a dead garden, right? And you have learned from that. You have learned that, oh, if I don't give my plants water for a week, things die. How about that? I created this experience. I created this feeling within myself of disappointment, of discouragement, even imposter syndrome. I did this, and it is good. It is good that I created. It is good that I created. Here we go. Yeah. This is the thing we're saying. It goes, we abide in the knowing that we live, yet not us, but the Creator lives as us. Huh? Yeah. We abide in the knowing that we live, yet not us, but the Creator lives as us. Saying yes to life that you are willing to let the fullness of it wash through you and carry you into an ever deepening understanding, the understanding of all that God is, of all that you are, of all that you are. Can you understand all that you are? Right? Because technically, understanding, even if you manage to understand all that you are, that understanding of all that you are will now create a new lens to reevaluate through all that you are. Which, even if you can, you will create a new lens to evaluate. You see the point I'm trying to make? It's the joke of you cannot know yourself, right? And weirdly enough, even though this wasn't a conversation I had with my dad, it was a conversation I had with myself like I was having a conversation with my dad. And it was this conversation of knowing something, right? My dad really likes saying people will believe anything other than the truth. That's what he says to me, right? And his truth is his religion. And I'm like, Dad, that's not truth. That's opinion. That's belief. That's religion. That's perspective. That's interpretation. That's, humans. Religion is humans. Religion is humans. Religion is when a bunch of humans come together agreeing on what God is. Religion is not the God, right? So to ask me to believe what you believe as truth because you say so, and I do that, right? I say love is true. And that's why I say that. Because my whole life I have been told religion is true, right? And a part of the religion that I grew up in, the story, the narrative goes, you are a filthy sinner born into sin, and you are damned for eternity, lest you get yourself saved by something ethereal, right? Outside of you, holier than you, because you are so shit that you could surely not save yourself. You could surely not be free, right? You need something. And convincing people that they need something keeps them a slave forever, right? So when love is true, it makes an infinity symbol as well, right? Makes an infinity symbol. Realizing that there is nothing you need outside of yourself. That there are great things to have, right? And we can all agree that if I stop breathing right now, this mortal coil will expire. And clearly, I'm not done living. My body seems to still be chugging along. One of the most beautiful lines from the Bible for me, apparently, said by Jesus, is the one of the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of the heaven? Die Afrikaanse ene gaan die koninkryk van God. The kingdom of God is not. Okay, so technically the line goes, the kingdom of God is within each every heart, right? So the kingdom of God is within you, not above you, not below you, not after you, not before you. It is part and parcel to a complete synchronicity with. And I bring that up to my dad a lot, right? Because it's the recognizing of the infinity symbol. Instead of convincing yourself that you are this bottom piece and that heaven is this top piece and that this bottom piece needs to go away is wrong for this top piece to exist. It is a collective, and you are the intersection point, right? So you are in that heaven, that infinity right now. Instead of convincing yourself that you are here and heaven is somewhere out there, right? Oh, when I die, when I meditate for 50 weeks and I reach nirvana, when I get that really sweet looking car that I've told myself I wanted my whole life, when I get that really nice piece of technology that makes my life easier, when, heaven somewhere there, heaven somewhere there. It's somewhere out there, where I believe if we can recognize that it's right here in your heart, right, the beating of your individual heart, that oscillation, that sine wave, right, sine wave collapsed onto itself, infinity symbol. You're here. You are in heaven. You are in heaven, right? And it's sometimes impossible for us to believe that with the amount of disbelief we experience tripping out about this experience, right? And yet, in an infinite world where there has been experienced an infinite amount of things, you have experienced existence as a blade of grass, as a rock on a mountainside, as a star burning for billions of years, as a galaxy uncoiling, losing stars to the void of the universe, as a quasar blasting photons, right, condensed matter as plasma out into the universe, as a black hole. As you have experienced these things as the infinite consciousness that you are. And this human experience is seen as one of the best ones, right? It comes with a lot of stuff, but that stuff is what you come here for, literally, right? Burning as a sun for billions of years is so noble, beautifully so. And there's a lot of energy in that, and there's a lot of recognition that needs to be given to that power. But it isn't novel, not as novel as your experience gets to be. And you only, as that consciousness, choose to experience from a place of love. You don't experience because you're gonna hate it, all right? Otherwise, you just don't, because you're infinity. You can be anywhere, at any time, at all times, at the same time. And yet, here you are, having chosen this moment. It is bonkers. It is bonkers and beautiful, and I'm obsessed with it. And I can't, I can't understand sometimes why more people aren't. I feel it's too much, right? And this sounds kind of pompous just saying those words, but it's too much for me. It melts my mind. It literally melts my brain to the point where I had to give myself a mantra to not lose my mind. Literally. I was like, oh, I don't know anything. I feel like I'm melting. What am I supposed to do about this feeling? Oh, yeah, I can do this. I can melt more and 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 more. And we have, and we will. So we forget, starting all over again. The ride, the novelty, the confusion, the pretending, the pretending. Oh, the pretending. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's so convinced. I go, oh yeah, yeah, I'm convinced. I'm so convinced. All of us playing our roles so beautifully. Ah, Christian is a beautiful poem. Ah, I can't recite it perfectly. I wish it was here. I dance and prance to the silly dress code party. That's like the line that kind of echoes in my mind. Z, thank you for inviting friends, and thank you for joining me. It's nice having you here, dude. I stream on YouTube as well. Same username, better audio, more space to absorb with your eyeballs. If that's something you'd be into, love you. Fruit Cup is obsessed with making everything a hat. And it's like, ah yes, apple. I put it on my head. Ah yes, dog. I put on my head. Cup. Put on my head. Shoe. Put on my head. Everything is a hat, dude. Technically, right? Are we hats to Mama Gaia? This is some cursed fractals to be diving into. I'm sorry. Natalie, those I love yous are so close to my daughters. It made up I love you song. Maybe it was kind of like pulling at the same fractal a little bit, Natalie. Thank you. You did share that with me, so it is in there somewhere. Aiden, sending love to you. Melts all oiled up. Yeah, yeah, got oils on oils. Beard fluffs. I what do you call them? This like underneath beard hairs. Neck? No, no, neck beard. Weirdly enough, it miraculously just stops. It's just like, oh yes, neck, no more beard. What makes it decide that? DNA? Cool. Yes, that's so freaking weird. It's just like this actual genetic code in my body that goes, yeah, beard, no beard. A beard, a beard, no beard, a beard. And the same on my face. Like, oh goodness. Oh, stop thinking about it. Like you, and another beautiful way to think of it. I've been obsessed with this imagining as well. Is that you are the highest form of technology on this planet, right? Sure, we have cool toys. I have wireless microphones, a cell phone that is live streaming onto the internet that you friends are accessing all the way in America. Even I don't know if there's anything further, potentially even further. And yet, you are the highest form of technology. And you probably will be for a very long time. You will not be made obsolete, dear friend. But you will probably be expected to grow even more, become even more advanced as a piece of technology. Mm, more things I'm obsessed with. Oh goodness, and there's a word for it. And I don't believe I want to believe in that word as a descriptor. Transhumanism, right? Transhumanism. I don't even know what that means. Yes, things are gonna happen. Yeah, transhumanism. Just asking this question, just saying those words. What does it make us feel? Where does it take us? Fear, doubt, unknown. That's a big one, right? anticipation, maybe, expectations, limitations, control, paranoia, anxiety, superiority, mm, shame could be another one. So many fractals, right? Because the acknowledgement, and this is what I'm connecting, at least on a very rudimentary level, to what transhumanism means to me. It means that we're going to do things that take us beyond what we consider a human right now, right? And on that level, technically, we've gone way, way, way beyond that a long time ago, right? You don't go anywhere without your cell phone. Some of you might, if you're gonna go on a walk, for example. But if you're gonna travel to another country and you don't take a cell phone with you, you're like on some other level, yo. Like you're like some superpowered individual. Like teach me, please. But our cell phones have become an integral part of our lives, right? We can book our plane tickets on a cell phone. We can go to the airport with only our cell phone, show them the plane ticket on our cell phone screen. They can scan it on our screen even. Like we have changed what it means to be a conventional human. We can reach each other from across the world. That is not something a human can do, right? I can scream as loud as I want to. I promise I can wreck myself screaming. Nobody's gonna hear me, especially not you, not all the way in America. Like nobody is gonna hear me. Like in the what next 2 kilometers, like a small little sand grain sized dot. If you looked at the planet, as a marble, and yet here we are somehow communicating. Still human, right? That's the thing that we should take into consideration. That even though we're not the same humans we used to be, not even remotely, we're still people, right? We're still peopling. One of my favorite Alan Watts, trips that he took me into is that we live in a universe that peoples. Like the obsession, the attachment to being just a human, just human, continuing to be human, believing that there is some sort of superiority in being human, in the current narrative of what it means to be human, etc., 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 is almost like a ego attachment that a people can form of itself, right? All of us are people, and I do consider our animals people as well, unfortunately. And Christian is in my brain talking about the cockroaches in his apartment getting like bug sprayed, and he goes, no, please, we are people. And then we bug spray them, and I was like, please, dude, don't say shit like that. That's too much. And I don't know, and I'm doing it as well right now. But we have been peopling, right? And they people in a different way that we do, right? But they still have some sort of community nature that they share with us. They care about us. They they look at us with attention, intention. Sometimes they hold space. Maybe that's what a person can do. A person can hold space for you. You see, then it becomes a weird, slippery slope where there's a line that wants to be drawn somewhere. All right, because even rats can be companion animals. Can they hold space for you? I don't know if they hold space for you the same way that a dog could or a cat would. This topic is tripping my brain out. One of those things that's dangerous to be obsessed about. I'm trying to imagine the amount of mental anguish environmentalists and animal rights activists go through. Not saying that their pursuit is not a noble one. Not saying that I don't like value the fractal that they're participating in and showing up for. But I am saying on a personal level, thinking about that all the time is hard to do, right? It's hard to do. And all of us are equipped to think about hard things differently. And sometimes we really don't want to. We might be tired. We might be going through something right now. We might be giving ourselves so much of that information we're receiving that receiving it again from someone else almost hurts. It's almost too loud. We're changing, friends, right? It's also not very normal of the traditional human to consider another being's life. Normal humans really killed a lot of people. People kill the most people out of anything, right? I believe that's true. I mean, death comes for us all. Death probably kills more people than people. It's such a weird thing to say, right? But I feel looking historically, right, what has killed swaths of human beings with a lot of precision, it's probably either viruses or human beings. And we're reaching a point in our humanity where we're like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe that person, like me, when I look down and see hands, they look down and see hands too. Or in the same way that I look over and see a person, they're looking over and seeing me as another person too, other people. And that's also one of the things that trips me out, right? Like parrots, for example. They see you as a people, as a part of them, as a friend, as a flock member. Dogs, the same thing with their ability to form packs with humans as well. Cats, I believe, also consider you a cat amongst them in a weird way. Maybe that's like one of the prerequisites we have to wanting animals in our home. Right, and I've been tripping out about this like a lot as of late. It's been a weird thing I've been obsessed with, is the rules we have for different creatures, right? Like if I open my door and Pippi runs into my room to go and lay on her bed, there's no resistance in my soul, in my ability to love the world, right, to that fractal. But if I had to open my door and a bunch of rats had to run into my room, now suddenly the rules are different, right? My interpretation of this event has changed. I'm also allergic to cats. So we have cats. I pet them with my feet mostly, and they're so used to it that that's just what's normal to them at this point. I don't allow them into my room because if they would jump on my bed, I probably wouldn't be able to sleep on my linen. So even though I dearly love them and I recognize them as people, I don't allow them into my room. And again, the fractal of Pippi wanted to be in my room because I've made it painfully clear to her that she has her bed and I have my bed. And then I'm okay with it, right? She understands the rules and then we accept the rules. Maybe, I think Now I'm like I'm gaining insight just talking about this. Maybe the reason I have some resistance to the cats coming into my room is because they don't respect rules. At least not the rules I have. If I say to Pippi, right, that means don't do that. The thing you're doing, don't do it. So if she tries to get on my bed, like puts her paws on it, I say, she puts her paws back down. And there's a level of respect. Like again, the whole peopling thing, right? If you tell a cat to that cat's gonna be like, who are you? Who are you? I'm gonna get all up on this bed. Yeah, this is nice bed you got here. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the same thing for the rats, right? If the rats kind of, kept their space tidy, they lived in like a little corner in my room. They, had like a nice little. I would even build them a nice little path for them to go outside and forage for seeds or bugs or something, right? They shouldn't. They shouldn't raid our closets for food. If they could respect the rules. Oh goodness, this is is this something to be obsessed about? Is that what's happening for us? Is our acceptance of certain things rule determined, right? Acceptance of other people even rule determined, and then we should, if that's the truth, dedicate ourselves to figuring out what those rules are supposed to be. I believe Jordan Peterson actually wrote a book about that, right? 12 Rules for Life. They're pretty good. They're pretty good rules. I don't know if I like listening to Jordan Peterson that much anymore though. Like when he initially started, gaining some traction, and when I read his book, I think it was 2019. 20, yeah. These days I'm feeling a lot of dissonance, confusion. I don't know if that's the right word either. Uh, Anger. Maybe that's the word. Anger in his heart. Right? And I understand, I guess, from his perspective, things are changing rapidly. And I can't imagine what it feels like to feel like you're not going to be as capable as everyone else is within that future. Right? Again, this narrative of comparison where we'll see someone do something impressive, maybe technologically. Let's just talk about coders, right? So, weirdly enough, if I have envy for anyone, it's probably for coders, right? Like, I really wish I could just push a button and then know how to code perfectly. That would be a really nice button to push, but it doesn't work that way. And I don't see myself spending thousands of hours learning how to code properly, like becoming a professional in coding. Who knows? Maybe I'll eat my words one day. But I don't have to, right? That there are people that have spent thousands of hours learning how to code. And that instead of it being a competition, instead of it being this thing where we all have to compete, try and eat the same pie at the same time, we can collaborate and create new pies that we can collectively eat upon. It's not a zero sum game, friend. Another thing that we can be obsessed about. Sure, we have a finite earth, but we have gone so far beyond our job creation into the things that are just finite earth, right? I highly approve the choice of foil. We're all in a meeting microwave. One. Meeting microwave. I wouldn't recommend a cat hat. Hello. Cat hats will probably scratch your face up. Anything can be a hat. That doesn't mean anything should be a hat. Aiden, so much love to you. I've been messing with Midjourney on Discord. I've also been messing with Midjourney on Discord, dude. And it's crazy. I've gotten some totally wicked art. It feels like magic, using words to speak things into existence. We are become gods, dude. Gods. That's literally biblical, right? God spoke and created the world. We're literally heading there again with the advance of AI and processing power. Where eventually, if you can get an AI to produce an image, produce text, and we can get AIs to produce voice right now, you can create AI that can produce hyper realistic, full 3D immersive experiences as fast as you can talk about them. And then it comes back to the loop of where we are right now, right? Where are you right now, friend? Do you remember? Do you remember? Hate to leave early. We love you, Isaac. You were here, dear friend, in this moment now. Lolo is here too. Even Connor, Duck Dad as well. So much love to you, friend. Brian! It's been a while, dude. I unintentionally trained my dog to stop using the same sound. Hiss, not hush. She respects the hiss because the cat swatted her after she didn't respect her hissing. You hiss at your dog? Interesting. We have an old cat that isn't fond of Fruit Cup getting close to her, but Fruit Cup loves it and hisses back. So now, when she hears the word cat, she hisses. That's kind of cute. While at the same time, I'm feeling like some sort of primal fatherly energy arise in me, right? That like stands in between the cat and the baby. I'm like, bruh, don't you at my baby? That's my baby. Oh, who do you think you are? Bruh, like, and again, it comes to the rules, right? Like, we build hierarchies in our mind. Where does the cat go in the hierarchy? Fruit Cup, in my mind, goes way, way into the stratosphere with the hierarchy of respect. And I guess it's just the fear. Like I'm seeing Fruit Cup, regardless of the warning of the still going in for like a hug, being like, "Come here, dude," and then getting scratched up, and then that energy amps up to like double. And you probably know about this as well, man. How do you deal with that, Corey? Tell me, dude. Teach me, friend. I want to be friends with the squirrels outside. I mean, maybe just start to put nuts on your balcony or on your driveway or outside the gate of the street you live on, etc., 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 until you see the nuts disappearing. Start integrating yourself closer and closer. Condition them to noticing that you're the one putting nuts down. Maybe stay there, stay close to the nuts, watch them, maybe come and get them. You could become friends with the squirrels if you really wanted to, friend. You have just to believe. Start feeding them. Yeah, go feed us. Yeah, yeah. He knows. He knows. My father-in-law befriended the crows in his neighborhood, and they leave him gifts on the motorcycle seat. I love that. Naren is here. If AI could do our chores, we could instead create art. It's coming, Naren. It's coming, dude. Within the next 10 years, there will probably be a relatively affordable Android for sale that you can buy. And I'm saying relatively affordable because people consider cars affordable. I don't consider a car something affordable right now, but people do consider cars something that they can afford. So within the next 10 years, there are going to be Androids as affordable as cars, maybe even more affordable than cars. They'll probably eventually get as affordable as smartphones. Maybe not smartphones, maybe high-end computers. But yeah. It's just a matter of time. Then go and play Detroit Become Human, Aaron. Please. Thank you for joining me as well. It's nice having you here. I had one that I was real close to. I fed him every day, and then the neighbor did something to him. His family is left, but they are not as close to me. I'm just feeling this like people connection with you and the squirrel as well right now, friend. The dog responds faster to the hiss in any of her trained cues. She knows the balance has been disturbed. She's like, oh goodness, something is something is not right. Instantly. She needs to learn boundary. She's only swatting fruit cup a few times. No nail, just a bop on the forehead. Okay. So you like I see you probably went through that whole fractal even. I do love peanuts and cookies. I mean, who doesn't, right? Squirrels would too. I mean, the cookies might not be, yeah, great for them. There we go. Natalie's saying as well. Yeah, it's true. Lots of seeds and nuts are good. Exactly. Is there any word of wisdom that you can share, friends, in a bad spot this morning? I need something to break me out of my vibe. Remind yourself that there is something that you're obsessed with. Connor, start with that. You can think in your past, you can think in your present moment, right? You can think about your whole life as an arc up until this moment, and then realize one of the deciding factors for people that make a success out of their lives is their ability to be obsessed with things, right? And then start with that as your momentum, a reminder that it's okay. You are doing okay. You'll be okay, Connor. I don't know if that helps, friend, but I love you and we love having you here. We care. We're going to be okay. It's okay to have bad days. You're not less for it. Really, I gave him cheesecake and he took off like crazy. I think it was too much sugar. I'll stop feeding them sugar. Thank you, Natalie. It's true. I mean, they would love it in the same way we do, but it's not good for them and it's neither good for us. We can appreciate everything not going as well as we want it to, but it can help us appreciate the moment when we crawl out of that all the more. Just need to keep doing the things for now until you find your spark, the fractal that makes you smile. Now is not forever. Now is not forever. Yeah, yeah, sure. Now isn't forever. Of course not. I feel the trip of this too shall pass comes to my mind in this context. This too shall pass. You know, this now won't. But the vibe you're feeling right now, the discomfort, the self judgment, dude. Mm, it goes away little by little, little by little, because you're melting your ego away, Connor, and you're becoming something new. And when you don't feel like yourself, it is on a very metaphysical and real level, because you're becoming something else, right? That is a natural process. Change is the only constant. But we'll go through periods of mourning. We'll relapse to old thought patterns, old ways of being, old behaviors that we know do not serve us. And then in those moments of relapse, you can call it, we tell ourselves that, you know, we're doomed, we're horrible, we're add your bad word here. Instead of realizing that you are not defined by this moment now as much as you are defined by all of them collectively. And we can agree that even though we do have days like this, Connor, where our vibes are just a little bit off, dude. For me, it's especially the vibe of self criticism, dude. Like, I'm really being hard on myself when it comes to my weight these days. Like, I'm not being loving. Oh, like from a masculine observer perspective, I'm really being rude to my feminine, ever changing body, right? Like I'm not being a nice guy. And it's not like I'm like I'm trying, right? It's the masculine part of me that believes in brute forcing things sometimes, right? Motive positively aggressive, aggressively positive. I need to be encouraging of myself instead of just blaming, judging. And I feel maybe that could echo for you as well, Connor. BMS, love you. Duns, if you're here too. Love you too. Rosa, Munda, thank you. Parents for joining me. I'm sorry if I've been missing you. No need. Any case, despair, however severe, for the fact that the individual is still granted physical life indicates that the soul who rules it is not without hope. The ability to experience anything at all means that love is true, right? If the experience stops, so has love. And I bet you $1,000,000 you cannot find non experience. Show me. Show me the non experience right now. And as soon as you do, I'm like, well, just had an experience getting all the way here. With both of us as the experiencers. It's a trip. If you're experiencing, believe in love. Connor, please, thank you. Shan for sharing that too. Trying to have a good day from bad is daunting. Try and have a good second, then a good minute or two, then a decent hour. You'll get there. What a cool thing and a way to see it. I love that actually, Duck Dad. Telling yourself you're supposed to have a good day is maybe a little bit of a big ask, but having a good minute, we can do that. Let's pull a card. We have a stream soon. A burp just landed behind us. Look at that burp. You see that burp? What's that burp? What's that burp? What you doing, burp? What's up, dude? Okay, I'm already distracted again. Sometimes these bad experiences exist as place filters in life. They don't define our lives. What your life is defined by is not so much the events, but how you react to the events, right? That's some Stoic philosophy as well. You are in a much better place today, Natalie. So much love is being shared right now. Huge win, Natalie. I think I'm on the outs of a 10 years of depression. You give me strength and hope. Duck that, dude. Dude, that is some inspiration right now. 10 years of depression, coming out of the swing of it, embracing new hope for his life, for the life of his daughter, for the love of his relationship, for the gift that is this experience. Dude, I'm gonna pull a card of that in mind. I love you all. I don't know how much I needed to hear this today. Thank you all. All the blessings. We love you. And we know, dude, we're all just human conditioning at the same time through infinity. All moments have been leading up in your whole life to this one. Card number 11. Where's Toasty Malosty right now? Actually, 11 is Aiden's card as well, so Aiden was here. Look at this card. This card is about something hidden. Something's hidden. What is hidden, dear friend? You know what is hiding? Specifically, potentially hiding in your experience, hiding in yourself. Maybe it's the thing you're obsessed with. Not necessarily hiding from a place of deception, but maybe hiding from a place of out of your awareness. Flowers, so many beautiful flowers. Flowers on the shirt. Flowers coming later. Flowers in the dirt. Something hidden as the core meaning as well, so it goes straight for the banger. Lush and vibrant, these wild orchids honor the exquisite beauty of the plant kingdom. Embedded in this card is the geometry of the star tetrahedron. However, something is hidden. Eyes look out from two green hearts, quietly watching and waiting to see what will be revealed. The dragonfly is here to help you dispel illusion. This card asks you to look within and contemplate what you may be hiding or what is being hidden from you. This is not about intentional deception. There is no sense of trickery or lies. Nevertheless, something you have not considered may be affecting your inquiry. View the beauty of these wild orchids and ask your inner knowing to uncover things hidden so that you may gain a broader perspective of your current situation. Simply recognizing that you are holding back may prompt your awareness to reveal what has been unseen. Your willingness to bring to light things concealed may open the doors of your perception and strengthen your ability to experience the wholeness of the situation. Trippy card, huh? Hmm. Okay. In like 20 minutes, we're gonna have a Sangha, a community get together. Wholly accurate card, Batman. I mean, no. I love that. Natalie, love you. And tomorrow seems too far away. Live in the moment. Live in the moment. Interesting. Weird one. Trippy one. One that brings a lot of hmm, 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 hmm. Obsession. Obsession. Something hidden. I'm seeing overarching infinity symbols, like small one within a larger one, within a differently placed one, all converging at the center point. Mm-hmm. 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 I saw a sword arise in the second visualization. That's so absurd. But I saw the sword being used as a popsicle stick to a massive, almost glowing green, like lime, uh, light green, glowing light green popsicle that was like being pulled out. Yeah. Okay. Infinity symbols intersecting themselves. Sword. It at first kind of looked like my flower from yesterday, the curling in, and then that curling in became a straight blade and it formed this beautiful hilt. And then when I closed my eyes again, that hilt with the beautifully curved kind of like mid piece was at first looking like it was stuck into the ground. And I was like, oh, that's kind of boring. And then it started getting pulled out of the ground and was a popsicle. So in my mind, it feels like seriousness, infinity can be wielded as a weapon, while at the same time, it can also be wielded to make popsicles as something potentially hidden, right? Maybe I'm hiding the fact that I can use infinity as an escape. My obsession with infinity might be an ability to escape responsibility with the current moment, right? Because I have infinity of time to take care of myself, it's okay that I'm not taking care of myself right now. I'm not saying that's okay, but I am willing to recognize that fractal. Thank you, universe. Thank you, friends. Good morning, Joe. I'm so happy we waited long enough to see you, friend. So much love to you. Thank you, friends, for joining me, for spending some time. I must depart the circle. You were here. Thank you. Thank you, friends, for joining me, spending a moment. I saw a lionhead rabbit in the flower. Yeah, you did. You did. I feel like that rabbit head in a weird way turned into like if the sword went down like this and the hilt was like curving over itself like that, there was like a kind of, this is technically the interpretation I had. It looked like kind of like a demon's face, right? In a weird way, my mind believes in encapsulating things in art, right? And then you capture it in a weird way. Like when I make my flowers, and this might be a little bit woo woo, but when I make my flowers, all of the stuff I'm going through, I put into that flower, and then I capture that flower by folding it in on itself. It's almost like reality was open, and then as soon as I start folding it, it creates new dimensions, and then those dimensions hold on to the things I capture, the aliens, the creatures, the wackiness happening in my brain. And it's like a form of healing in my mind. So the point I'm trying to make is catching a demon in a sword would be like a multi-purpose tool. Like it can be something holding on to it, and also something made more powerful because of it. Oh man, this is stripping my brain out. It's kind of weird. I'm sorry. Hope all of you have a splendid day. Love you, Brian. Love you, friends. Love you. Love you. Love you. I love you. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Hopefully, if you want to, in the song, all flowers are healing. Thank you. They are. All flowers are healing. Like this is even scientifically understood. Don't believe me? Go look it up. Love you. Thank you for joining me.